I was fat, had no friends, was super insecure, and had zero self-confidence. I transformed my body dramatically 3 times throughout my life. And today I can say that I am proud of my body. I'm gonna go through the exact exercise routines and diet plans that I went through. I did it with no personal trainers or any paid fitness programs. Here's how I went from fat to ripped. Let's dive in. I was a fat kid with no friends. I ate by myself at lunch, and during recess, I would hide next to the wall. The only attention that I got was from bullies who constantly made fun of me for how fat I was. I just thought that's how things are. I didn't even know I could change my situation. Then one day, a sense of urgency hit. I'm going to forever be a loser, or I'm gonna make a change. So I had an emotional commitment to myself that I would put in work one summer, lose all my weight, and surprise all my bullies and even a girl that I liked. Lesson learned, you need to commit to change. The stronger the emotions that drive your desire to change, the better. Real change comes from a personal reason that evokes emotions. I learned in middle school PE class that the way to lose weight is to burn more calories than we eat. So I committed to eating less than 600 calories per day and running for 20 minutes in the hot summer sun. I know, looking back, really stupid and unhealthy, but this is pre-internet and I was a dumb young kid. Anyway, in one summer, I went from fat to skinny. I still remember the first day of school. Most of my classmates couldn't even recognize me. I started making friends, gaining respect. I stopped getting bullied. Lesson learned, in order to see change, you need to stick to your commitments. The only reason my plan of restricting calories and running every day worked is because I followed through and I did it. Then came high school. A lot of my new friends from middle school joined track and field, so I followed them and I became a runner myself. We'd be running more than 5 miles every single day during practice. So I quickly became one of the most athletic kids in my class. And because I was burning so many calories, I was always hungry and I became a food dumpster. My diet at the time was super flexible. I was eating whatever I wanted to, pizza, donuts, school lunches, French fries, and I wasn't getting fat because I was burning it all off. So the lesson learned here is, as long as you're burning enough calories, your diet can be a little flexible. In college, things changed a lot. I wasn't part of the track team anymore. I still had the same food habits and cravings that I did from high school, but I wasn't putting in any of the output. One day I looked myself in the mirror and I said, holy shit, the fat kid is back. Lesson learned. After high school, this is when people start going their own ways. Teams and clubs start to disappear. Then one day a friend of mine invited me to go weightlifting. After 3 weeks, I lost a lot of body fat and I was having fun. At the time, YouTube channels like Six Pack Shortcuts and Christian Guzman were very popular. So I gobbled all this content up and I formulated my own exercise routine and diet plan. I split my days up into body parts: chest, back, legs, arms, and abs. And I did 4 fundamental exercises on each of those days. So for chest, it was classic bench press, dumbbell press, cable flies, and incline press. For back, it was barbell rows, dumbbell rows, cable rows, and lat pull downs. For legs, it was back squats, lunges with dumbbells, front squats, and squat jumps. For arms, I mixed up bicep curls, tricep extensions, dips, and 4 sets of 50 sit-ups. I also started meal prepping. My meal prep consisted of chicken breast, tilapia, vegetables, brown rice, and sweet potatoes. I would cook on a Sunday, put the food in Tupperwares, leave the Tupperwares in my fridge, and every time I was hungry, I would take the Tupperware out, microwave it, and eat that meal. In a span of 6 months, I went from fat college kid to super lean by the time I graduated. So the lessons learned here are, you need to develop adult discipline. You can't rely on your friends or teammates. Your health is in your own hands as an adult. After college, when I started my first corporate job, I trained 6 days a week and I noticed I started gaining muscle super quickly. I decided to do a physique competition. This was one of my biggest fears as a fat kid. to get on stage, take my shirt off, and have people judge my body. And I was ready to face it head on. After I had the date signed, I didn't want to embarrass myself by pulling out or telling people I was gonna do it and not follow through. So I hit the gym like no other. I upped my exercise routine. My splits were push days, pull days, and leg days. And every single day, I hit a little bit of abs and a little bit of arms. On Sunday, I rested. Push days were flat bench press, incline dumbbell press, dips, military presses, dumbbell presses, tricep extensions, good old-fashioned plyometric push-ups. And I would finish with 4 sets of 1-minute abs. Pull days were like this: barbell row, one-hand dumbbell row, pull-ups, lat pull-downs, bicep curls, preacher curls, hammer curls, and again finish with 4 sets of 1-minute abs. My leg days were like this: back squats, front squats, leg press, lunges with dumbbells, lunges with barbell, calf raises, plyometric squat jumps, and again finish with 4 sets of 1-minute abs. I did this 6 days a week. I was mainly sticking to the same meal plan, but I was aiming to eat 1 gram of protein per body weight, which all the fitness forums were talking about. So I would eat 1 chicken breast every meal, and I would have about 3 protein shakes to supplement in between. I had an alarm on my phone. For every 2 hours, I would either eat a meal or have a protein shake. I went from 160-pound lean muscle to 185 pounds within 4 months after starting this regimen. This competition definitely pushed me to put on muscle. So the lesson learned here is, if you set a public-facing goal that you tell your friends, this will help push you past your limits of doing things in private. Because I set out to do this physique competition, I wouldn't let myself skip the gym because I knew I had to look a certain way to even get up on that stage. Now, a key thing to note is, no matter how much I trained with bodybuilding, I could never get full-on six-pack abs. Maybe I wasn't doing enough cardio. After my physique competition, I started my martial arts journey. Quickly, I noticed that my body fat was shedding off because martial arts is a combination of resistance and cardio, and it's high intensity. So for the first time in my life, I developed six-pack abs. I started with jiu-jitsu, and then when I moved to Thailand, I started doing Muay Thai. So lesson learned here: to see the best results, you need to pick an exercise where you're doing a combination of resistance and cardio. Ideally, super intense cardio. I ended up competing in 1 BJJ competition and 2 Muay Thai fights, and this took my fitness to the next level. When you sign the dotted line to fight, training is no longer a choice. When I'm not training or not resting, the thought that's in my mind is, I bet my opponent is training right now. So that anxiety alone pushed me to go to the gym. So for my Muay Thai fights, I would train 4 weeks before the fights, and this is what it would look like. Every day I would wake up at 7, run 6 kilometers, and then I would go to the Muay Thai gym and jump rope for 10 minutes, do 3 rounds of shadow boxing, 3 rounds of bag work, 3 rounds of pad work, 3 rounds of sparring, some supplementary clinching, then some body weight exercise like push-ups, pull-ups, followed by some light weightlifting. Then at 4 p.m., I would repeat that all over again. I trained like this 7 days a week for 4 weeks straight. My diet at this time was super flexible as well. I wasn't counting macros, I wasn't restricting my diet, I was eating whatever I can. By the time my fight came around, I was in the best shape of my life. I felt energized and clear-minded. When I sat down, I would be able to see my six-pack. The problem with this exercise routine, however, was I was training 5 to 6 hours every day. I couldn't sustain training at a competitive level and working on my business at the same time. So I had to find a more efficient way to train. So starting last year, I started eating whole foods, basically the paleo diet. I cook steak, eggs, and eat fruit. Another thing was I scaled back my training. So instead of going to the Muay Thai gym every day, I scaled back to 2 to 3 times per week. On days that I don't go to Muay Thai, I supplement with calisthenic workouts at home, push-ups, bodyweight squats, bodyweight lunges, burpees. So now on average, I'm working out 45 minutes per day, and I'm still able to maintain my six-pack. Another big change I made was I quit alcohol and marijuana. I found that when I was drinking alcohol, I would always get bloated, eat a lot, and ultimately get fat. Also with marijuana, I had the munchies, so I would overeat. But by simply cutting out these vices, I found that I can stay lean for months on end while spending less time in the gym and being able to focus on work. So the lesson learned here is, the closer to natural sources that your diet can be, the better. Another lesson is cut out alcohol and marijuana. These are terrible for your diet and your ultimate fitness. what are the takeaways? Discover your emotional reason to be fit, find an exercise plan and diet plan that works for you, commit to it, and most of all, have fun. If you're inspired by my journey, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more fitness and mindset tips. Join me and let's get stacked together.